December of 2018. And in my first year as a Christian coach, we collected over $250,000 in revenue, far beyond what I imagined was possible. And since then, I've been able to support sales efforts for companies like Pete Vargas, Pedro Adao, Ray Edwards, Jon Acuff, Dr. Darius Daniels, and so many other amazing leaders. Recently, Nick and Megan Unsworth, which was an honor, Billy Sticker. And we've been hired by these other coaches to do sales for them because we do really high integrity sales at a high converting way. And that's what we teach new Christian coaches. We help them optimize their business models and their pricing so they've got the right offer, the right thing to sell. And then we help them optimize their mindset and their sales strategies so they can make sales feel fun, high integrity, loving, and they can close more deals, scaling their income and their impact. Today, I want to talk to you about having a back pocket offer for your coaching business. And so one of the things that we teach, and many of you have heard this before if you've been paying attention, is how to create your signature offer, the primary best way that you're going to work with your clients. That's a super fun thing to do, and it's important. And if you haven't done it yet, you should do it. Check out the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. Scroll back a handful of episodes, and you'll find content on creating your signature offer. But beyond your signature offer, I almost always have had what I call a back pocket offer. So it's not my primary offering. It's not the thing I'm going to speak about on stage. It's not necessarily the thing that I'm going to offer at my conference or my retreat or at the end of a workshop or a webinar or a challenge or anything like that. It's not a primary source of income that you're going to find on my website. It is a quiet offer, but it's a way that I can work with somebody who's an ideal fit client, but doesn't actually fit one of my programs. So this is unique, and this is especially important, I think, when you're a new coach. As you become a more established coach and you've had more and more success, you're probably going to have your back pocket offer used less and less frequently. But let's imagine your signature offer is a group program. If you've got a really great group design program, but you encounter a prospect who is either ahead of the rest of the group in one way or another, or wants to go faster than the rest of the group, or just doesn't really fit in the group environment based on what their goals are and what their needs are, you may want to offer them a back pocket one-on-one coaching offer. So that would mean that you have a plan in advance. What's your one-on-one coaching price? That's separate from your signature group program. And for almost all of us, it's appropriate to have a one-on-one coaching price. For some people, it's going to be $1,000 a month. For others, it might be $500 a month. For some of you, it might be $10,000 a month. If you're a really advanced, really successful coach, I know some people who are making that offer, $10,000 a month, to work with them one-on-one. But likely somewhere between a few $100s a month and a few $1,000s a month is a number that would make sense and make it a total win for your prospect and a total win for you to coach them one-on-one. And if that's not your signature offer, it's still helpful to know that price point and know that offer. So when the right situation presents itself, you're ready to create a win-win agreement and say, okay, I normally don't do this, but occasionally when it's a fit, I work with people one-on-one. You know, for me, I think about people like Tommy Breedlove and Chris Tuff, two of my friends who I've mentioned on the podcast before. Tommy and Chris are both USA Today and Wall Street Journal best-selling authors. Highly successful individuals, multimillionaires in other industries of their careers. But then they decided to begin a coaching business. They decided to run a live retreat. They wanted to have a mastermind offer. And that was an arena that they hadn't been in before. So even though they were wildly successful, this was new and they needed some help getting the design right and figuring out how to sell it and making sure that it was operating in a way that was most efficient and effective to achieve their goals. So it didn't make sense for those guys to necessarily be in the same group program that most of my clients were in. For the one thing, they wanted to go faster. And the second, reason that they didn't make sense in the group program is like they already had the network, they already had the community, they already had the relationships. They had clients and friends ready to buy and who were just excited to jump into what they had. So they didn't need to develop the networking piece. And they didn't need to go through all of the same steps because of the level of success that they'd already had in their lives and their careers and their networks. They wanted to go faster. They didn't exactly fit with this newer group. And so even though they needed the same kind of concepts, it didn't make sense to teach them over 6 months in slow form. So instead, I worked with them one-on-one. And in cases like that, sometimes I work with somebody for a solo day. I just spend one day going all in with a person or a business, or half a day. In other cases, it's one-on-one coaching over the course of several weeks or maybe several months. And so I had that back pocket offer. You're not going to find one-on-one coaching on my website, although we did just at our recent conference offer a private coaching package with me that includes a solo day and a few one-on-one coaching calls. Unique reasons why I decided to make that offer at the conference and why I'm working with a few people that way right now. But generally speaking, you're not going to see one-on-one on my website. It's not there. You're not going to hear me talk about it a whole lot. I love group programs. You're going to hear me talk about CCA, our Christian Coaches Academy. You're going to hear me talk about Sales School. I love our Sales School program. We've typically had a mastermind program over the course of the history of Faith2Influence. I love group programs. So the one-on-one coaching that I did with Tommy, that I did with Chris, that's a back pocket offer, and I've done it for others. I usually end up pulling that back pocket offer out a few times a year. And for me, it's oftentimes around $10,000 to do that kind of work. And I know that that's what stage I'm at in my business right now and what makes sense right now. I evaluate each of those back pocket opportunities, and sometimes it's a little bit more than that. Sometimes it's a little bit less than that. But that's the ballpark figure for me, and I kind of know what a $10,000 package looks like for me and a way that I can work with somebody in a personalized way that's faster. And I only bring the back pocket offer out when I know it's a fit, when I know it's somebody I really want to work with, when I think it's going to be fun to work with that person, because it's not my core offering. I keep it a little quieter, and I'm very careful with who I invite into that back pocket offer. Now, an alternative to that could be that maybe you do have a solo immersive kind of day, right? So I mentioned the one-on-one coaching. It could be a solo day. It could be something else. Like, we provide a service occasionally. We do what we call partnership sales for other companies. That started out as a back pocket offer, and it still kind of is. You're not going to see me market and advertise to the partnership sales events that we do very often. That's usually word of mouth. Maybe that will expand, and maybe we'll be more intentional in pursuing those opportunities over time. But God has blessed my business with hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue through partnership sales. And that started out as a back pocket offer. It wasn't something I talked about, wasn't something I intentionally tried to create or build. But when the opportunity presented, I said, hey, we could sell for you. And I brought that service forward on a case-by-case basis when it made sense. You additionally could have something like that. And so maybe you're a marketing coach and your signature offer is coaching people on how to do their marketing better. But you could have a back pocket offer that you're prepared to bring out when the time is right that says you will actually be a virtual CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, or what they call a fractional CMO. You'll work from a distance, part-time, handling the marketing directly for a company. And so maybe you've got a signature offer that's $5,000 or $7,000 or 3 or 10 or 20 or whatever that number is. And that's what people work with you over the course of a year, learning how to do the skill set. But if you had a $6,000 offer where you teach people how to do it themselves, it would be reasonable for you to have a back pocket offer for whatever price point makes sense for you. Maybe it's $20,000 for the year, and you will do the service for them. It doesn't hurt to just know what your price point would be to provide the service directly or to work one-on-one directly, even if that's not what you're pursuing as a regular course of business. And it's okay. Don't be shy about having a high number there and hearing no, because this shouldn't be the sort of thing that you want to sell at scale. If you wanted to sell it at scale, it would be your signature offer. You would be putting it forward to every single person you talk to. The back pocket offer is the thing that you can't afford to do for everyone. The opportunity cost is too big. So you actually want most people to be a no to this offer. But occasionally, right time, right place, right person, right situation, you want to be able to maximize the opportunity for both you and your prospects. So this is the big idea. Consider what is the greatest value and how you could work with someone one-on-one or provide a direct service for a significantly higher price in most cases than what your signature offer costs. And can you have that prepared enough to know what it looks like and to know what the price is and keep it in your back pocket for the right introduction, the right opportunity, so that you can create a greater win-win for you and your prospects. I hope this was helpful. God bless you. Have an amazing week. Have a great 4th of July, and I will talk to you all soon.